What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is T. Lawrence, and here is the belated sequel to the previous Raze review. In the last video, we went on a little nostalgia trip for the famed 2D platform-based sci-fi shooter, Raze, which was developed by two very talented and passionate guys named Justin and Addison R. Now, if you haven't seen the review for the first Raze, I highly recommend you to give that a watch first. But to quickly recap, the first Raze is such a spectacular game, and it really demonstrated how Flash games can provide the exciting arcade experience typically found in consoles. And once again, Raze was released back in 2010, when most Flash games had very basic animations with crusty cartoon styles. The inclusion of aliens, space, and any other sci-fi elements clearly imply the heavy inspiration from Halo, no thanks to the designs of the characters and weapons especially. But I actually like this, as it allowed me to have my own Halo-esque experience, since I didn't have an Xbox growing up. Suffice it to say, the first Raze was within my top 10 favorite Flash games during my childhood, and I would often binge on it after school and during the weekends, either replaying the campaign missions or getting creative with the custom matches. And I told myself, it can't possibly get better than this. Turns out, I was proven wrong, a year and a half later. Therefore, we will go on another nostalgia trip with its sequel, Raze 2. On September 23, 2011, Justin and Addison would release Raze 2, approximately a year and a half after the release of the first Raze. And to answer the question from the first video, how did the sequel compare to Raze 1? Well, as if the first Raze wasn't big enough of a hit within the Flash community, Raze 2 pretty much demolished the charts upon release. It's very hard for a sequel of any work to outperform the original, but Raze 2 succeeds in this endeavor by being a massive improvement in almost every way. The visuals are the first indicator of this, as the art style has improved dramatically. For one, all the assets from the characters, weapons, and other interactive objects look much more polished. The line art is especially much cleaner than the first game. While the assets of the first Raze are well designed as well, they do look a little crusty when you zoom in further, almost as if they're semi-pixelated. It's not a huge deal, and certainly not something you'll notice when you're running around and gunning in a match. But in Raze 2, the visual improvements are quite noticeable, which already give it a great first impression. Even the level environments appear much more lively than the first game, whose levels contain more flat shapes similar to vector art. But in Raze 2, one can tell that Addison clearly put much more effort into the world building by painting actual environments, such as a desolate city, an abandoned shipyard, an underwater lab, and much more. And as a fellow artist, I say bravo and well done to all of this. Now, regarding the gameplay mechanics however, it remains more or less the same, retaining the same fluid movements, mouse-based aim, double jump, jump pads, weapon pickups, and the same power-ups such as shields, health, double damage, and invincibility. However, there is also a new power-up called Rapid Fire, which allows the player to momentarily fire any weapon rapidly with infinite ammo. But, aside from that one minor addition, the overall movement is virtually identical. Therefore, there's no massive learning curve involved, and if you're familiar with the first Raze, Raze 2 should feel no different. However, that's not to say Raze 2 is just the first game with a fresh coat of paint. While the fundamentals remain more or less the same, Raze 2 introduces a plethora of additional features that truly mix things up at a creative level. The biggest change of all is the Armory, which allows the player to select a variety of equipments and abilities to customize your combat style. The abilities section present a list of active abilities that can be deployed in matches, such as Resupply, which restocks extra ammo for the current weapon in use, or Cloak, which makes the player invisible, or Static Field, which protects and deflects all damage from the player, and etc. The Resupply ability is the only one available from the start, with all other abilities needed to be purchased with in-game credits. And the further down the list, the more expensive they get, so it is a bit of a grind. The equipment section presents a list of passive abilities that enhance your combat capacity in offensive, defensive, and utilitarian ways. If you want to tank more damage with extra health, Combat Armor will provide an extra 50% to your max health. If you're a bit of a daredevil, the Adrenaline Boost will spare you from any fatal attacks by reducing your damage to 1% health, which in normal situations would kill you. This can especially make or break a match, especially the later ones. If you want to farm for extra credits, the point allocator provides plus 2 credits for every kill. This is especially helpful when you're trying to unlock expensive weapons further down the list. And of course, if you want to play dirty, the target marker will provide an extra 20% damage to heads, crotches, and butts. Your enemies better watch their asses. Even the weapon selection has been significantly expanded. The first Raze has a total of 10 weapons that everyone uses. In Raze 2, the weapon selection goes up to 35 total, divided by 7 classes. Starters, sidearms, close range, automatics, long range, heavies, and explosives. With the exception of the Bio-Uzis and the Ice Chain Gun, all the classic weapons from the first Raze return, with the human weapon serving as the default starters. But, just like the abilities and equipment, additional weapons can be purchased through credits. All the weapons within their classes have unique stats and abilities, with varying levels of damage, range, accuracy, rate of fire, and ammo count. Although some weapons are more expensive than others, none of them are inherently quote-unquote better than the other, and which weapon loadout you go for depends on your playstyle. If you want to pack a heavier punch at the expense of ammo count, you could go for the Holy Grail instead of the default 50 cal sniper rifle. If you're too lazy to aim, you could go for the Ice Hunter, which is homing rockets and a higher ammo count, but at the expense of lower damage. If you just want to look cool, you could go for the Terminator instead of the default shotgun. I'll be back. And my favorite of all, we get to actually buy the laser cannon used by the alien commander from the first Raze game. All of these new features allow Raze 2 to provide a much more complex and vibrant gameplay experience than its predecessor. In the first Raze, performance was really determined by pure brute motor skills. Whoever had the fastest reaction time came out on top. Other than different character designs, all the NPCs performed the same way and used the same weapons, which made the overall gameplay experience a little dull and repetitive once you got the hang of it. However, Raze 2 completely subverts that by introducing said extra features. Not only do you get to customize your own character and playstyle, the NPCs all have their own unique abilities and weapon loadouts as well, making the matches a much more interesting and dynamic experience. Instead of brute forcing your way like the first Raze, one must formulate an actual strategy when facing off against unique enemies and matches. There may be moments when you have to prioritize survivability and select the combat armor equipment. There may be moments when it's better to just bypass the enemies for the objective by using the cloak ability, especially with the introduction of new match modes like Capture the Flag or Domination. Suffice it to say, one must actually think in Raze 2. Even in the custom matches, it can be an interesting sandbox experience to try out different combos of weapons and abilities. And last but not least, Raze 2 has an actual plot. Yes, the first Raze did technically have a story as well, but it was pretty bare bones, serving more or less as just filler. But Raze 2 provides actual characters, dialogue sequences, cutscenes, and a more compelling conflict beyond just a generic trope of aliens invading Earth. So, just like the previous video, we will dive into the human campaign and explore what has happened ever since the events of Raze 1. And as those alien bastards begin rearing their ugly heads once more, it's time to take up arms and remind them that Earth is not for sale! Mission 1. Breaking in. It's been 9 years since the last invasion. Relearn the ropes of battle from our highest ranking officer, Johnny Rocket. Johnny Rocket, eh? Huh. 9 years ago, in 2108, Earth was invaded by aliens. An elite group of soldiers was created for the sole purpose of eradicating the aliens. These soldiers were the best of the best, unparalleled in skill and strategy. The code name for this elite task force was Raze. Roll credits. 4 years later, the last of the aliens were finally defeated, though the zombie virus they created is still spreading, as we have not yet found a cure. Those infected with the virus have remained in stasis until a cure is found. The aliens have returned without warning. It's still not clear why. Being the last survivor of the Raze task force, we're pulling you out of stasis early. You're still infected with the zombie virus, but let's hope you can get the job done before it takes over. Yikes, that's kinda risky. Let's also hope we don't pass on the virus to anybody else. Just like the first mission of the first Raze, we begin with a tutorial mission, as our katana-wielding companion Johnny Rocket guides us through the essential controls. We're then greeted by an urgent message on the screen, warning of an imminent attack. Unlike the training facility from the previous Raze, it appears we're jumping right into the action. After gliding across a jump pad, a missile descends in the distance, turning the entire skyline into a war zone. we patch ourselves up, grab an ammo backpack and a shotgun before jumping into action, where we give the alien invaders a rude welcoming. And as always, grab a rocket launcher, as rockets beat everything. Just a few more, let's show 'em what we're made of. You're damn right, Johnny boy. And just like that, we end the first mission with a flawless victory, except for Johnny, who got one death. It's time to start preparing yourself. Make sure to visit the upgrades menu periodically to purchase new weapons, abilities, equipment using the credits you've earned in battle. Oh, I've got plenty of credits, trust me. Mission 2, Survivor Lookout. 1 week ago, we lost communications with our military ship, Echo 1. We believe it was attacked and there may be survivors in a zombie quarantine zone. Go check it out, but be warned, there's been reports of many zombies in the area. Well, the zombies are back. We start in a desolate city, where most of the buildings have collapsed one way or another. As we enter an abandoned building, we stock up as much weapons and power-ups as possible before the action begins. I have a bad feeling about this. Finally, we find a zombie, and just like the first Raze, the zombie has increased HP, but not very smart. Soon, more zombies appear, until eventually, the whole building is filled with the zombie horde. There's too many of them! Keep shooting! Man, this is like something out of The Walking Dead. Our boy Johnny requests for an immediate evac, but there's just too many damn zombies on the LZ, so we'll have to keep sweeping and hold tight. Roger that. Let's do this, Capitan. Despite being outnumbered 10-2, Johnny and the Capitan are victorious against those Zeds. Mission 3, Sweep and Clear. We're sending you back in more equipped for the situation. This time, you'll have flamethrowers and new flame-resistant armor. Clear the city of infected and secure any survivors. Oh hell yeah, this is our time to shine. We return to the desolate city, all suited up and ready to fry up those zombies. Alright, let's clean this place up. And just like that, the flamethrowers easily melt through their rotten flesh. Added with our own extra HP, we mop the floor with those zombies. Hey, don't shoot! Oop, we got a live one. A survivor? Are you from the crashed Echo 1? Yes, I'm the captain. Please get me out of here. Copy that. Let's clear out these zombies and I'll call for evac. Alright. Not only did we find a survivor, we also got some clues to the missing ship. We eventually run out of fuel for our flamethrower, thus needing to switch to our sniper rifle. But given how we're ahead 58-5, I say we've already won by this point. After clearing the remaining stragglers, we finally neutralized the zombie threat. Mission 4, Cause and Effect. Play as Captain Biggs 1 week ago, and watch the events that caused this Echo 1 ship to crash, and start the whole alien invasion. Time for some flashback. It was about a week ago. I was taking my Echo 1 ship on a routine trip to the space station to deliver these robots. The alien ship just sort of came out of nowhere. They attacked without warning or reason. I managed to take out their ship, but mine took too much damage and crash landed on a nearby unknown planet. Well, looks like the war has been reignited. We play as Captain Biggs' POV, finding ourselves in the crash-landed Echo 1. Fortunately, we are accompanied by the ship's transport bots, who begin analyzing the ship's status. Suddenly, aliens begin falling out of the sky, eager to finish the job. What's going on here? Why would they attack us? We could ask the aliens nicely, but I don't think they're gonna tell us. Help me kill these aliens fast. I need to warn the people of Earth. We must warn the Republic. Honestly, I prefer that. These alien bastards blew up our ship, so they're gonna get what they deserve. Also, since I've demonstrated the default weapons, I'm now gonna play the rest of the campaign with my own preferred weapon loadout, such as the Ice Hunter and the Holy Grail. And just like that, we beat off those alien bastards. After defeating the alien survivors, I found something among all the wreckage. A bright, radiant glow coming from inside the destroyed alien ship. On closer inspection, it was some sort of artifact, a group of them. Despite all the damage and chaos that happened around them, they were completely unharmed, as if they possessed some powerful force field. I couldn't fit them in my escape pod, so I hid them in our ship. We must retrieve them and research their power. Ooh, it appears the plot is thickening. Mission 5, Retrieval. The aliens must be attacking because they think we have their artifacts. Retrieve them from the crashed wreckage so we can return them and end this war, once and for all. Well, they destroyed our ship, so we're taking their artifacts. It's only fair. Back in the present, we return to Echo 1's crash site as the Capitan. Unfortunately, our transport bots don't take our presence very kindly. What? Us? We're on your side!
Verification failed. Destroy intruders.
It appears someone has tampered with our robots, causing them to process us as hostiles. Unfortunately, we have no choice but to dispose those transport bots and retrieve the artifacts in the form of capture the flag. And just like the first Raze, the robots are quite beefy with their increased HP and deflector shields, making them a very tough nut to crack. But this level is not a deathmatch, so we're just gonna quickly capture those flags and get the F out. Woohoo! Keep it up! Almost done. You're having way too much fun, Johnny boy. And just like that, we win the match and retrieve those artifacts. Mission 6. New Recruits. Before we give back the artifacts, we're having our top scientists look into them. There has to be the reason why the aliens want them so badly. In the meantime, show our new recruits how it's done against some training bots in our testing dome. Nah, I say we keep those artifacts, as reparations for destroying Echo 1. We take a break from the battlefield and start in a biodome, where we face off against the training bots in a Juggernaut match. All the players compete for a Juggernaut status, where you gain increased HP, but in exchange face off against everyone else. Alright recruits, listen up! Capitan here is our top soldier, so take notes. Oh, why thank you, dear Danny. Huh, this guy looks a little familiar. Finally, we attain the Juggernaut status and begin mopping the floor with these bots. Ooh, nicely done. Did everyone see that? And I did it just for you, dear. Man, this guy's good. Wow, perfect. Just perfect. Damn, Danny's got the hots for the cap. But sorry, he's already taken. And just like that, we win the match and show those recruits how it's done. Mission 7. Hold the fort. Our researchers are still looking into the power of the artifacts, but the aliens have discovered the underwater lab. Go there and secure the artifacts. We can't let them go until we know their full potential. Huh, what are these aliens trying to hide?
Oh, thank God you're here. They're trying to steal the artifacts.
No problem, brother. We'll lock these babies down. And by locking down, we are playing a match of domination, where we secure 3 different flag points and hold them as long as we can to gradually earn score points.
Landmines detected. Proceed with caution.
Yeah, if you're not careful, those landmines will give you a nasty blow, so watch your step. Also, fun fact, you actually get to fight underwater. Though, I'm surprised there's no time limit to how long you can stay there, since, you know, humans can't breathe underwater? Or maybe the zombie virus gives us gills as well, who knows? Now, domination can get a little tedious as well, given how slow the progression is. Still, we win the match 100 to 81, and succeed in protecting those artifacts. We've discovered that the 4 artifacts that were recovered off the alien ship are actually extremely powerful force field generators. When linked together, both the power and size of their force field grow exponentially. We're sending the artifacts to the research outposts up north for further study. Well, considering the North Pole also produces the Earth's magnetic field, I say they'll fit in right in. Mission 8. My first mission. Alien shipyards have been discovered in the desert. They're actually building more ships on our planet. Take the new recruits on their very first mission, and show them how it's done by getting the most kills on your team. Looks like we're finally building our own team. The Avengers are coming together.
Alright, you guys ready to see how a real pro does it?
Ah, please do tell, Johnny boy.
Show 'em how it's done, Capitan.
Oh, I'll show to you as well, Johnny boy.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Introduce yourselves.
First up is Sage, our squad's field medic, who's in charge of healing us when we take too many punches. Up next is Extreme, who's the explosive specialist. As you can tell, he's kind of a pyromaniac.
That's it? Well, you already know me, expert at close quarters combat.
Yeah, we can tell by your katana. And of course, I'm the Capitan, the best soldier on the team, who just beat Johnny Boy 15 to 7. Hey, you okay? I heard they pulled you out of stasis while still infected with the zombie virus. Zombie or not, this guy's got skill. I just hope we can finish all this before the virus takes him over. We'll be ashamed to lose such a good soldier. Oh, so maybe that's why we're so OP. Mission 9. Shocking Discovery. We found out the true nature of the artifacts, but it seems the aliens have found their location once again. They seem to be giving out some sort of GPS signal. Secure the artifacts at all costs. When will these aliens ever learn? So we head up to the freezing north, where things seem a bit too quiet, as they usually are.
Wait, what? There's no one else here!
Yeah, they all got scared and ran home to mama. I'm not sure about that, kiddo.
No, something doesn't feel right.
Suddenly, the aliens decloak themselves and ambush us. Still, these cowards are no match for us, as we're already way ahead with a score, as well as delivering a crotch shot with the Terminator.
Your crotch is terminated.
And just like that, we win the match 150 to 48. After endless days of research, we finally discovered the true potential of the artifacts, and the reason the aliens crave them. A very large meteor shower has been detected and is heading towards Earth. The size and density of the shower is sure to wipe out anything in its path. This must be why the aliens are fighting for these artifacts. Their planet must be in danger as well. From what we know, it seems the artifacts can generate a force field large enough to cover the entire planet. Though, to do this, the 4 artifacts will need to be spread across different parts of the Earth. Although we initially planned on giving the artifacts back to the aliens, their value is now much too high, as they are our only chance of survival. We must fight to keep them within our possession, even if it means war, even if it means the extinction of the alien race. We must survive. I mean, those aliens already invaded Earth once, and now they're doing it again, so I say they have it coming. So no, we're keeping those artifacts. Mission 10, Strange Encounters. We've lost communications with the shipyards, and we fear the worst. Your team is currently busy on other assignments, so you'll have to check it out alone. Well, looks like I'm soloing this. I got a bad feeling. We return to the shipyards at night, finding it completely empty. That is, until we're greeted by a very talkative alien.
Greetings, human.
Well, hello to you as well.
What? Surprised I speak your language?
Not really. You know the saying.
Полезно знать, что думает противник. Не правда ли?
It is.
While the alien commander continues to taunt us, he utilizes a destructive acid weapon, as well as some kind of teleportation device, which allows him to yeet out before we can deliver a kill shot. This can get especially frustrating, as we spend more time chasing him around as opposed to actually fighting him.
Silence? Your race usually cannot stop talking.
Huh, well look who's talking. Despite all the bravado from the alien commander, we beat his ass 10-0. And this guy calls himself a commander? Mission 11, Trapped. Go to the mines and place the first artifact. There's too many zombies in the area, so you'll need to place the artifact while you fight. Your team is still busy on another assignment, but we will soon come to assist you. I gotta fight alone again? Come on! The location for the first artifact is in the mines of South Africa. South Africa, huh? I know a friend from there. We begin in a mineral-filled mine, and unlike the desolate city, this place is already crawling with zombies from the start. Add to that, we're in a domination match, where we must capture the flag points all by ourselves. This is gonna be quite the hassle.
Brains.
Due to their sheer numbers, the zombies unfortunately get a head start with the score, but slowly, we take back each individual capture points, until suddenly...
Sorry we're late. Did you miss us?
It's about goddamn time, Johnny boy. What took you so long? With the belated arrival of our squad, we managed to finally turn the tide and win the match 150-78. 1 down, 3 to go. And please, never make me fight a zombie horde by myself ever again! Mission 12, Disposal. One of the artifacts was already placed and activated in the underwater lab, but it's now being attacked. Wipe out all enemies in the lab. I thought we already took care of him. The second artifact has already been placed by our researchers, but is under attack. We need to head over there and secure it. As we return to the lab, Extreme has decided to yeet out of this fight for obvious reasons. Water really gives me the creeps. Well, fire and water don't mix well together. That's why the Fire Nation attacked. Fortunately, with the help of the security bot, we still hold our own and once again beat back those alien bastards plus zombie, turning them into fish food. Second artifact secured. Only 2 remain. Mission 13, Reclaimed. Aliens have discovered the location of our first artifact and are removing it. Head back to the mines and steal it back at all costs. You will receive help from the mine security bots. The previous mine mission still gives me trauma. We return to the mine in South Africa this time with a full team in a capture the flag match. And thank goodness, because imagine playing capture the flag all by yourself. Fortunately, once we figure out the most efficient routes, this match becomes quite a breeze, and we win by 5-1. Also, these aliens look a little familiar. Mission 14, Mutation. Place the third artifact. The virus is starting to take effect. You can feel something changing inside you. Uh-oh, I do not want to find out what I would look like. The third artifact should be placed near a research outpost in the Arctic. We return to the Arctic, greeted with an absolutely beautiful aurora background. Like, damn, I'd love to see those one day. And our old friend from the shipyard, the alien commander, appears yet again, looking to settle a score with us. And once again, he's onto his teleporting shenanigans.
Whoa, what? This thing's teleporting all over the place.
I can't hit him, he's like a monkey on sugar. Now you guys finally know what I've had to deal with all this time by myself. Deflection! Ha! Still, even with backup, the alien commander is no match against their squad, and we win the match 30-7. Again, this guy calls himself a commander? Demote this guy already. Third artifact placed and ready. Just one more. Mission 15, Final Deployment. The final artifact is ready to be placed. Defeat the enemy with only minutes until the meteor shower hits. You have fully mutated into a zombie, but the survival of the human race lies within your hands. Well, this is it, gents. Human or zombie, we are the only thing standing between humanity and those wretched aliens. It's been a great honor serving with you all. The final artifact seems to be weaker than the others, as it's the only one that took some damage in the ship crashes. We believe that we'll be able to amplify its power, if placed within our testing dome. Be quick, the meteors are quickly approaching.
This is our last shot. We need to kill them before the meteors hit. If we can't activate the last artifact in time, Earth is doomed. We have exactly 4 minutes before it's too late. We can do this! Hoorah!
So, this is what our zombie form looks like. You know what? It doesn't look bad. In fact, look at those arms. We look beefy as hell. Damn. Which is also why our HP is 5 times higher. We're practically a juggernaut at this point. However, while the extra HP certainly helps, that's not the biggest concern in this match. As Johnny Boy mentioned, we only have 4 minutes to wipe out all the alien commanders. Yes, you heard it right. All the aliens are commanders, meaning they're all gonna teleport around the map, making it much harder to hunt them down. And with the time limit, it becomes even more pressing. So grab a rocket launcher or any other high damage weapon and get to work fast. Already, Extreme goes down. It's been an honor with you as well. Then, Sage falls next. Until finally, our homeboy Johnny Rocket reaches the end of the line. Those 3 shall not be forgotten. Just like the first Raze, we lose our entire squad and find ourselves finishing the fight all alone. Just like the first Raze, we shall avenge our fallen. With extreme vigor, we hunt down the remaining alien commanders until finally, we deliver the Holy Grail to the final commander at 3 minutes and 12 seconds and finish the fight. We made it. The final artifact has been placed. All artifacts are now deployed and ready. Let's hope this works. With the final artifact placed, the shields were able to go up just in time and fully withstand the impact of the meteors, as well as absorb their force. The artifacts proved to create a shield powerful enough to defend Earth from destruction. It appeared that there was hope left for humanity. Or so they thought. And that finally wraps up the human campaign of Raze 2. For the second time, we beat back the alien invaders and save humanity, along with sparing Earth from destruction. But at what cost? Extreme, Sage, and Johnny Rocket. Their sacrifices shall not be forgotten. That said, something tells me the story isn't whole, as indicated by the cliffhanger at the very end. In fact, something tells me there's a lot more to be uncovered regarding the aliens. And the only way to find out is to play the alien campaign, which can be unlocked once you beat the human campaign. And just like the first Raze, you experience the same events of the human campaign, but from the perspective of the aliens. In Mission 1, you witness the events of Echo 1's crash from the other side, and try to take back the lost artifacts. In Mission 4, you hunt down Captain Biggs to the desolate city, while also encountering the very zombies created by the aliens. In Mission 10, you face off the Raze soldier as the alien commander, as you try to utilize the same teleportation ability. In Mission 14, you get a hold of a super weapon called the Frozen Death, which is essentially a buffed up version of the Ice Hunter, and go on a power trip. And of course, in Mission 15, you replay the final battle from the POV of the aliens, as you seemingly try to stop the final artifact from activation. Seemingly, that is, because once you beat the final mission, the final cutscene shows quite the twist. Let's just say, things are not what they seem for the aliens. Instead of spoiling it, I'd rather you play the alien campaign and find out yourself. That is, if you can beat the final mission of the alien campaign. If you thought the final mission on the human campaign is difficult, boy are you in for a rough ride. So, how does Raze 2 compare to the first game? Well, given everything we just covered, I can say with confidence that Raze 2 is a remarkable upgrade from its predecessor. Once again, it's really hard for a sequel of any game to overtake the original, but just like Terminator 2, Raze 2 is one of the few and rare instances where it's superior in almost every way. The first Raze served as a very successful prototype. The one job it tried to do, being a 2D platform-based sci-fi shooter game, it did it very well. Raze 2 then took that success further by refining it and expanding it with new features. Cleaner graphics, more fluid movements, player customization, new weapons, plus an actual plot with interesting characters. Raze 2 is a marked improvement. The addition of an action-packed story is also reflected by the new soundtracks, which is much more action movie themed as opposed to the techno music from the first Raze. Though the classic soundtrack Rocket Race does return, which is quite nice. I guess the only potential downside of Raze 2 I could argue is the increasing graphics demand, which can cause lag and other performance issues. This was especially an issue for weaker computers, which couldn't run them well. For that very reason, I remember back then preferring to play Raze 2 on my friend's PC as opposed to my own laptop, which would always overheat. But that's not really an issue with the game itself, but rather a tech issue that just can't be helped, as not everyone could afford a strong enough PC. So overall, not a major issue. Now, regarding the first Raze's About section, the devs noted the planned additions for the sequel that would become Raze 2, such as upgrades, more player/bot customization, more dynamic levels with interactive environments, custom weapon creation, and online play. With the exception of the last two, all the planned additions were delivered. However, although the weapons themselves can't be customized, the expansion of the weapons arsenal from a total of 10 to 35 does make up for it. Regarding the lack of online play, it is disappointing that it didn't make it, as it's something I really wanted in the first Raze, and really looked forward to it being in Raze 2. However, online play features can be quite tricky to establish, given the online infrastructure required, so I can forgive it somewhat. Besides, the rest of the additional features still make the single player and custom matches very replayable. And that finally concludes the overview and walkthrough of Raze 2. Once again, as if the first Raze wasn't amazing enough, Raze 2 expanded and perfected it as the ultimate 2D sci-fi shooter flash game. And it's amazing how Justin and Addison managed to do all of this in just a year and a half. If you're an indie game developer, you know how much of a hassle it can be with all the design, programming, art, and playtesting involved. But given just how much of a massive success the first Raze was, the duo once again delivered with much deserved acclaim. So let's all give Justin and Addison an applause for the masterpiece that is Raze 2. And as always, you can download and play Raze 2 from Blue Maxima's Flashpoint archives. Link will be in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next Flash Game Retrospective. Now, if you would excuse me, I'm gonna go back to smashing some aliens.
Smash aliens, huh?
Yes, I'm gonna go smash some aliens. What about it? What? What are you guys getting at?
Why are you?
Thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel. My $5 patrons are Kapitan Sladek, Kidzap, Chocoburb, and Dravenraven. My $2 patrons are Komida the Prep Cook Demon, If you would like to appear at the end credits of my videos, as well as have early access and exclusive content on Patreon, feel free to hop on over to patreon.com/LTELawrence and give a pledge. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is T. Lawrence of the Arcadia, signing out.